Sorry, Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Hawashai, Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Hawashai, Kafla Yahweh, Bachin Hawashai, Bachin Hawashai Kakadash, Dubana to the elder apostle, a great milk, and rule well, and share taking the oxen, put in the truth, and caught the four corner of the earth to the fear and power Yahweh Bachin outside, as I hope will let, and who the world inwardly called God, his name Yahweh, and who the world inwardly called Jesus Christ, his name Yahweh Shai. Already, Hebrew Israelite, that consists of the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, and those in line descendants go back to one of the 12 tribes of Israel due to the scattering amongst the nation. All right, now it's going into Israel and Iran. All right, biblical prophecy concerning World War III. All right, which is going to involve other nations as well. All right, because we know the scriptures prophecy speak of the rumors of war and World War III. All right, so we get to this article. It said, this is foreignpolicy.com. Israel isn't strong enough to attack Iran. The Israeli government is ramping up its rhetoric, but political and military constraints are too great. All right? Not for the first time in recent memory, Israel wants the world to know it is ready and willing to military strike Iran as long if it has to. All right? And we ain't got to go into, we already know what the issue is between these two countries. All right? Let's get the... They're right because the scripture, the leak of the plot. It's Jeremiah 50 and 40. I'll start at 40. I'm going to go straight to the point. 45. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord. Yahweh Shai. Right, because these things already been determined. All right, these things already been played out in the heavens. All right, that's why we have the prophecy, because we already know what's going to happen, and that's why we're telling you what's going to happen before they happen, which are what? Prophecy. Okay? So it's already been dictated and determined what's going to happen and how it's going to happen. All right? And this article prove it. All right? This article prove it that Israel isn't strong enough to attack Iran. All right? It's Jeremiah 50 and 45. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh Shai that he had taken against Babylon, which is America, and the so-called white people. All right, Esau, Edom, and his purposes that he had purposes against the land of the Chaldeans. All right, and we know those are the elite. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. All right, and that's talking about today Israel. All right, the small hatter. All right. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. All right, because both the land of Israel and America, which Babylon spoken of, are both going to be made desolate. All right, by ICBM missiles. All right, by thermal nuclear missiles. After north of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moving. That's talking about the missiles. All right, and what's going to move the earth? The missiles. All right, the scripture said it shall whirl to and fro like a drunkard. All right, because that's how much mental and hard shaking it could have caused to the earth. And the cry is heard among the nation. Why? Because you read Revelation 18, it said, alas, that great city, all right, Babylon, where they have made their riches, all right? So that's why that cry could be heard among the nations. All right, they're going to see that terrible judgment cast upon Babylon. All right, because Babylon will be casted down. Luke 21. I'll do Matthew 24. Matthew 24. Instead, you shall hear of wars and rumors of war. And that's, you look at the Greek word for rumors, report. All right, and reading the reports. All right, I even got another article. The time of Israel, just over half of Israelis say U.S. approval not needed for strike on Iran. That's what they think. All right, but they don't realize that America is gonna have to step in. All right, on one the small hatter. All right, is Israel make they move. Okay, and then once that happens, who's gonna step in for Iran? Russia, China. All right, it's and you shall hear of war and rumors of war. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, see, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be so all these things are going on. All right, this country versus this country, but in the midst of all that, you still got famine, earthquake, and pestilences like the rest of the verse is gonna say, and there shall be famine and pestilences and earthquake in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrow. All right, so we see all these things are taking place. Okay, and we read about. I mentioned about Iran. All right, Joel 3 and something like it's not Joel. It's Ezekiel. Joel 3 is good too, but Ezekiel is actually mentioned about Iran. All right. It's Ezekiel 38 and on 1. And the word of the Lord Yahweh Shai came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy faith against God, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. All right, going into Russia and other countries. And thus saith the Lord Yahweh. I'm just going to get to the point in verse 5, but I'm going to read, 1 on down. Behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. I will turn thee back and put hook into thy jaw. All right, and that's why Russia is going back to how they used to be. All right, but they're going to be more powerful now. All right, but it's all according to Yahweh Shai. And I will bring thee forth in all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company, with buckler and shield, all of them handling swords. That's the point, verse 5. Persia, Ethiopia, and Persia is talking about today Iran. All right, because that's what their name was before it changed over to Iran. Ethiopia and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. So all these going to be part of that war. All right, World War III. All right, there could be many nations that could be involved in this war. All right, that's why it's called World War. All right, the Revelation. And 14, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. All right, and that's talking about World War II already happened, and now we're approaching World War III. Okay, so I just wanted to bring that out concerning prophecy. All right, everything is lining up prophecy-wise for these things to take place. All right, this is pretty much what's in the news and what's being reported right now. All right, so with that, shalom.